To start, I need to make a scripts folder. I'm gonna go create folder, call it scripts. Inside that, I'm gonna make a new one called managers. And I'm gonna make a new script. I will call it scriptable object singleton. I'm going to open this up. A wild singleton has appeared. Okay, so this is my singleton from another series. You can copy this code from here. If you're curious how it works, I have, like I said, it's from another series, and you can click the card that should pop up in the top right. And you can also find it in the description as well. It's about a 17-minute watch. I need to make a new script. So going back to Unity, I'm going to call this one Master Manager, and this is also covered in the singleton video. And this is going to inherit from scriptable object singleton, or singleton scriptable object. Looks like I got my class name mixed up, so I need to fix that. I just need to rename scriptable object singleton to singleton scriptable object. I'm gonna go back to Unity real quick. Jump back here. Try to reopen it just to make sure. There we go. And then go back to my master manager. And this is going to be of type master manager as covered in my singleton tutorials. There we go. I'm going to clear everything out. And since this is a scriptable object, I need to use the create asset menu. I'm going to do menu name equals. I'll just do singletons / master manager. Go ahead and save. Oh, it doesn't like that. I need to use a /. There we go. And go ahead and save it. And if you are using a singleton scriptable object, I strongly encourage you to watch my other series. It's not long, and it'll probably save you a couple questions and potential headaches as well. So now I'm going to make another script which will hold some settings. So I'm going to go back to Unity. I'll make a new script. I'm going to call it game settings. And I will open it right up. And this is also going to be a scriptable object. So I need the create menu context as well. I'm just going to copy it from my master manager and drop it on in. Whoops. Okay. Back you go. All right, there we go. And this isn't really a singleton, so I'm just going to do a manager and then game settings so that I can create the menu for it. And in here, I think I'm going to have a couple public fields I'll use to set up my Photon. First, I'm going to want a game version, I think. So I'm going to do serialized field, private string, game version, and by default it will be 0.0.0. I'm going to do public string, game version, and that will just return, it's going to be a get, and it's going to return _ game version. And I want a username as well. This will be the name that will be displayed to Photon or set as a nickname. We'll be using it later on. So I'm going to do private string, we'll just say nickname, and I will do my name Punfish. Well, okay, that's obviously not my real name, but yeah. I'm going to do a capital variation, and then this is also only going to be a get, and I think I'm going to add a random number at the end so I can tell the difference between names inside the server or room. So first I need to generate a random number. I'm going to take advantage of Unity's API to generate a random number. It's a bit lazy, but it'll work. So I'm going to do int value equals random.range, and this is Unity's random.range, keep in mind. And I'm going to use the integer version, so I'm going to tab or press arrow down once until it shows the int. I'm going to do 0 and I'll say up to 9,999. And then I'm going to return nickname plus value. Actually, I'm going to do value to string. There we go. This will be fine for now. I think I'm going to go ahead and save, and then I'm going to go over to my master manager where I will do serialize field and private game settings underscore game settings, and then to fetch it I'm going to do public game settings get return instance dot underscore game settings. I have both my scripts saved. I'm going to close out of the singleton scriptable object CS file as well. Actually, I'll leave test connect open for now. I'm going to jump back to Unity. And then I'm going to create my scriptable objects. Since they're related to the manager scripts inside this folder, I'm going to go ahead and make a new folder inside it and call it scriptable objects. You can organize yours however you like. So I'm going to go right click, create singletons. First I need a master manager. I'm going to call it master manager. And I'm going to do create manager game settings, and I will of course call that game settings. So I'm going to select my master manager and then drop in the game settings. And I'm going to go back to the game settings, and I'm happy with how everything is right now. You can change yours accordingly though. Okay, so let's make sure this is working. I'm going to go back to my assets folder where my test connect is and go ahead and open it up. And I'm going to plug this information into the start here. So I'm going to add my nickname, Photon Network dot nickname equals master manager dot game manager, which is not being shown. I think I forgot to set it static. I did. So back my master manager, I'm just going to set the public variation to static. Go back to my test connect dot game manager, or sorry, game settings, and dot nickname. So that's going to set my nickname to this value right here. And the game version, I'm going to do basically the same thing. So master manager dot game settings dot game version. And to make sure it's working, I'm going to go down to on connected to master, where I will print photon network dot local player dot nickname. So this is a version that's on the server, and this is the version that's set locally that will be set to the server. So I'm going to be using the server version here to print out my nickname. Now I'm going to save and then go back to Unity. I already have my console up. You're going to see this warning. It's kind of annoying. It's going to see game settings is never assigned. It's because it doesn't recognize that a serialized field can be assigned from the inspector. And since we're not actually setting it or changing it, it just assumes it's not being used. It is, however, being used as we're returning it inside the game settings here, right here. So disregard those warnings and any future warnings you see when we're only using the get accessor on serialized fields. All right, so let me hit play, which it should begin connecting to Photon. And on connection, you can see that it showed my nickname 758, Punfish 758. I'm going to stop and then hit play again just to show you that it's working and that it is generating a random number every time. So now we have Punfish 2985, so it does appear to be working. You'll also notice we have a disconnected from server for reason message, disconnected by client logic. That's the code we put in earlier under test connect on disconnected. Okay, so for now, I don't think we really need any more work on the singletons. We'll probably be adding on to it later as we go, but this will be it for now.